Welcome back, folks. Want to get in this women nap craze? Now let's show you how to get it started.
Chai Ke is in his 30s. He might not look like it, but he is the CEO of the leading brand in women's health apps in China, Dayima.
这个项目从一开始
I
都是因
began
为
doing
身
this
边
because I knew many girls like my girlfriends who struggled with their periods. After we got married and we were preparing to have a baby, we needed to know when she was ovulating. That's how it started. We realized that Chinese women have some services targeting them, like period and ovulation prediction, and the follow-up services aren't very developed. Our app can satisfy their demands when they're preparing to have a baby.
这个排卵的预测以及它后续如何去服务它。
Like most entrepreneurs, Chai Ke faced some major financial obstacles at the beginning. Dayima has now received several rounds of investment from different companies, including German mass media corporation Bertelsmann. This has helped Dayima to grow. It had over 80 million registered users and 4.2 million active daily users by March 2015. Zhou Jinlian, a white-collar worker in Beijing, has used Dayima for a long time already.
Other than writing down some information on my period, I'll browse the forum where we talk a lot about personal topics. Here, we can discuss and follow each other, or just chat. The app also has a version for men. My boyfriend and I use the same account. 3 days before my menstruation, we both get the same message. He is now more understanding. Before, he'd just tell me to drink more water.
When Chai Ke established Dayima in 2012, he classified it as a utility app. But as user numbers rose, he realized that a huge market opportunity had appeared. Soon after, Dayima added e-commerce to its utility and forum functions.
我们其实这么一步一步从工具到社区再到电商的这每一步路，其实我们
Every step on the way, from utility to discussion forums to e-commerce, has been an extension of our service to our users. The utility app predicts a woman's period and helps her prepare for pregnancy. The forums help women that lack experience, whether it's about menstruation or gynecological conditions that they might be too embarrassed to ask about themselves. I think that the e-commerce part is also a tool. We've provided the period prediction service and gained their trust in the forums. Sometimes they would need something that an app can't provide, like if they suddenly run out of sanitary pads. So we realized that there's a chance to commercialize on that, and we added the 每月购 service, which not only reminds you that your period is approaching, but also sends you sanitary pads on your request. Dayima's focus on women's needs has helped it transform itself from a utility app to an e-commerce platform.
她到生活中，她还是来月经的时候还是会痛经。
Dayima 它的特别之处呢，是在于它是从
What's unique about Dayima is that it started out as a utility app and developed into a forum for women with numerous functions.
工具性的软件，然后再后来它是就是做了一些互动的这个模块，然后就成为了一个女性的社区。
Dayima has almost 100 million users, making it one of the big players in Asia's app market.
Professor Jia, there are so many apps out there. So what are the main categories and types for these women's apps?
Right. Well, as you mentioned, Tracy, there are a lot of different types of women-related applications. One popular one is period management, helps you to manage your cycle. Another one is pregnancy and maternity, right? So if a woman gets pregnant, basically she can use this app to help with the whole pregnancy and process. And another type is health information. So this is information provider. And another type is diet and fitness. Basically, it's a guidance.
I have those.
Oh, you do?
I
okay.
do.
And another type is beauty, and as well as like plastic surgery and etc.
Very high in demand.
That's right. Well, in China, the most popular kinds are period management and also pregnancy and maternity. Whereas in the U.S., actually the ranking is slightly different. In the U.S., diet and fitness seems to be the top in terms of ranking, followed by period management and then maternities.
So Professor Jia, I'm curious, tell me about Dayima's financial performance.
Sure. So just like many other expansion stage company, Dayima is at the stage where it's post-revenue but pre-profit. So if you look at 2014, which is last year, the company's revenue was about 1.5 million, but its net profit was a negative 66 million.
Wow.
So as we can see clearly, the company is still on the expansion. So it's still investing a lot of money to acquire new users and providing new services to its existing clientele. So which means the company needs to continue to raise additional round of financing from venture capitalists or from strategic investors to help finance that kind of growth. So far, let's take a look. The company has gone through 5 rounds of equity financing. So the company was established in 2012. So the first round was the angel investment round.
Right.
And then in 2013, April, the company raised another $5 million. This is Series A. And then about half a year later, in September, the company raised an additional round of financing. And then another round was in 2014. And very recently, in July, the company just closed a new round of financing. So you can see that the average cycle, between 2 consecutive rounds is about 6 months to 1 year for this particular company, which actually is a little bit shorter if you think about in the early days, the average fundraising cycle among Chinese startup company was about 1.5 years.
Right.
But now, given intensified competition, the fundraising cycle has become actually shorter and shorter.
You have to put the money in front to get as many users as possible.
That's right.
So apps like Dayima is actually growing pretty rapidly. What's their expansion strategy?
Well, I think the expansion strategy or path for this company is actually quite clear. So the company started with a tool app or utility app, but the challenge here, one is it has relatively low user stickiness, and there's very little interaction among users, right? And another challenge is lack of revenue source.
Right.
So it's only natural the company wants to move on to the next stage, which is building an online community, right? So this is a place where all the users can come around and get together and talk about the common issues. And as we know, people who use Dayima on a daily basis, they're relatively below the age of 30, young women, white collars. So they share very similar lifestyle, and they face many common issues, right? So having an online community is a really good way to retain users and increase user stickiness, right? And once you have all the users, then what do? Well, it's only natural that you want to monetize on the user base, right? So what Dayima is now doing is setting up this e-commerce platform, right? So basically sell all these related products to users on their website, and also they can start deriving advertisement revenue as well.
And it's targeted advertising, which is all the craze right now.
That's right.
Well, folks, this is how this app could make money. We'll look at the challenges facing the industry when we come back. Stay tuned.